All right, welcome to the State Action, episode 6 of season 6. My name is Jim Weglers, aka Wegs. You can follow me on X at
Starting early.
Wegspool on Instagram and X.
Nice. And I'm Coop. You can follow me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper, on Twitter at Dalton Cooper. X is just a logo. And you can follow us. We're the Side Action Podcast, and we are live back in the studio. Two things I've noticed: move the light, different sides of the light.
I tried. I thought your face was getting too dark.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. Maybe.
And the Bears are winning.
Don't say that. Exactly. They're winning 17-0 in the first quarter.
Oh, did they score again?
They did.
Oh man.
They turned over Sam Howell. Look, it's okay. We can talk about the dogs. They're barking. We got Zach Suter, Rainmaker. He's sending me little. I can show you the photos.
Oh man.
First, he sent me a little poodle. Let's see. Let's get this up. First, he sent me this little poodle guy. If you can see this at home. And then he sent extra back. And then he sent the beagles. We've kind of upgraded dogs right now.
Did he take them tonight?
Oh yeah. We're talking about the dog. I got a bonus boost plus 25%.
Oh.
So I'm plus 260 right now on the Bears.
Wow. Look at you. The hometown team.
Let's go.
They had to double down.
We're home cooking. So well, anyway, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
So you tell me about your weekend. You can start off. How was your weekend?
Man, we're messing with the schway. I like it. No, that was a greent weekend. I mean, we went up to Michigan. We went to Keela's grandma Nancy's lake house. It's actually got it. Yeah, it's got it on like the front of the house,
awesome.
Very like toward the roof area, if you will. So that was cool. Great area. Literally, the beach was right across the street. Like you could throw whatever object. You don't even throw, a football or whatever.
Okay.
But it's right there. It was a great weather weekend. Hung out, just played volleyball all day, and then Sunday obviously came back and had some Sunday sorrows and realized that the quest for 19-1 was still on. But yeah, that was a great weekend. How was Alabama?
Alabama was great. It's really pretty down there. It's in northern Alabama, still in kind of Appalachia, so the mountain, kind of in the hills, I would say, not really mountains, but some beautiful lake, gigantic lake, Guntersville Lake.
Of Alabama.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still Appalachia, dude. So yeah, it was really pretty. My cousin got married. It was really good time. I was of course, me and my sister were holding down the dance floor. I didn't send out the GIF that my brother-in-law sent to me, like trying to get him to get all fired up. I'll have to show it to you. It's more of an Android level GIF, as some people would say, but still, it was funny. I was getting revved up as I often do on the dance floor. I mean, somebody had to do it. I mean, nobody's dancing. Give me a break.
You got the flow for it. I mean,
that's the flow.
Yeah, you got the flow. The hair even.
Well, it's getting cut tomorrow, buddy.
Oh no, you're kidding.
Yeah.
But we're so close to the playoff season.
Oh, is that what it's for?
Yeah, I mean, MLB playoffs are starting. I mean, it's playoff season. It's the best time of the year. We have like every major sports going on.
Well, I feel like it's getting a little shaggy. I know the ladies love it. They got something to hang on to or something or whatever. I don't know. But I'm gonna go #boycott.
Cuffing season.
Cuffing season. Well, come on. You don't know cuffing season? You're already cuffed, brother. Or maybe you're not. Maybe we do that.
Oh God, no, definitely cuffed.
But yeah, I mean, it's cuffing season in Chicago. It's seasons of dating. Follow that on my blog, wegspool.com. You can check out the stuff. But essentially, it's dating season. I've had like 3 dates in 3 days or something crazy. Been very busy. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Besides the wedding.
Nice. Yeah. How was the trip back? Good flight and everything.
It was no problem. On the way out, it was very difficult. Southwest was crazy. I don't know if I'll fly them again, but overall, very simple to get back. And now I'm just kind of back in the groove and ready for some football.
Are you a first class or a coach kind of guy?
Come on, dude. I'm a coach guy.
Man of the people. Man of the people. I like that. That's the genuineness that you get from this podcast, and that's why the people come to us.
That's why they want to listen.
Yeah.
Just tens of listeners. So are we already immediately going right to the shed? Is that what we're doing here? Oh,
man. Well, the guy who outlined the podcast put us there. So
I put it there. It was in your normal outline. It kind of slipped in there. I will say that I take Mac Jones to the shed.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's done ever as a quarterback, but he definitely looks like his. I mean, I've never go back 2 years. I've not been a Mac Jones apologist. Our buddy Action was. He said, oh, he's going to be good. He's going to suck. I knew he was going to suck all the time. He's sucking bad. He looked terrible last week against the Cowboys. But in the end, sure, he's still going to be the starter. But I think the era of Mac Jones is over. They're definitely going to look, in the future for another option.
Yeah, they're probably definitely drafting a quarterback this year. Yeah, no, I had him on the shed list as well.
Okay, hey.
Just for the behind the scenes people, I'm still a little offended. You only have one shed every week.
Why does that do more? I thought, how many people do we have to take this
Well,
shed?
I don't know.
How big is this shed?
I mean, you could fit as many as you'd like in your shed. So, I mean, you said
mine's a small shed. I'm a man of the people.
A man of the
Economy
people.
shed.
Well, how about we add Chase Claypool to the shed?
Well, he's surprised he's going to be a podcast ultimate.
Yeah,
he's
maybe.
got to work.
He's welcome if he wants to come on and join us whenever. We'd have some great questions for
I don't
him.
think he'd catch the question.
Well, he might have a bad attitude toward it. You never know. But yeah, he's taken in the shit because quote, the Bears were not displaying his talents the correct way. Granted, he may have a point because so far this year, the Bears haven't displayed anyone's talents correctly. So maybe he's the one that's not crazy and the rest of them are. You never know. So only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
What would you give up draft capital for Chase Claypool, by the way?
Maybe a 6th round.
A bag of footballs?
Yeah.
Maybe the towel boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's no return value. You did nothing with the Bears. And if the Steelers, I heard some stuff on the radio this week. When the Steelers get rid of a player, he's done.
There's a reason.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
They have great talent evaluations. So.
That's fair, especially at wide receiver.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We're also going to add the Team USA Ryder Cup to the shed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
Well, you mentioned Europe. I mean, you said that they were going to win.
Easy money. Yeah. Shout out to Ginger. Ginger was the one that gave us the
hot
tip. Even back in in August, he let us know.
Or
maybe September. Whenever it was like a month before the Ryder Cup, he let us know. And plus money, it was going to be easy money. So shout out to him. He let us know. But yeah, the TBS, it was never close. It was like 9.5 to 3.5 at the end of the second day, and it was never close. So the Milwaukee Brewers, we're going to take them to the shed. We're going to talk playoff baseball.
How many times do they have bases loaded in the series?
Oh my God. But 2 blown leads at home is you don't expect that from that team. You figured if they could score 3 or 4 runs a game, they would win, honestly. But and then the last thing, we're going to add the Steelers defense to the shed. I was going through yardage totals today, and I don't know if you realized, but we'll probably talk about this here in a second. But Houston had almost triple the amount of passing yards than Pittsburgh, and they had double the total overall yardage than Pittsburgh. So I'm curious to hear your analysis.
Somebody might have warned you about that game.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if we go back to the playback.
I'm just glad we didn't put any money on it in my camp. So that's who I'm taking to the shed.
Okay.
Do you have anybody else to add?
No, I'm a one shed guy. I will expand in coming weeks. I like to focus my shedness on one individual.
You're a one tool shed kind of guy. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's all you need sometimes, buddy.
I have multiple tools in my shed. Is what I'm hearing.
Good for you.
So.
All right. What about the Dub Club? I put Josh Allen in the Dub Club.
Okay.
He went from 10-1 for MVP to now he's leading it like it's 4.5 to 1 or 5 to 1. Yes.
He passed McCaffrey?
Yes. So McCaffrey still should get it in between you and me, but Allen, they always give it to quarterback.
Yeah.
But Allen is definitely the leader right now, and he had a great game against, your Finns.
Yeah.
Played very well. Didn't turn the ball over, which is a miracle. And he was a monster in that. I'm sure you have a few Dub Club fans.
Yeah, well, like I said, we have a pretty hopping club over at Club Dub. So the first one, we're going to add Khalil Mack.
Okay.
He's in Club Dub. He's probably he's probably the front of the Club Dub, honestly. He's working security. He's a big fella. You wouldn't want to mess with him. But no, he had 6 sacks against the Chargers. Against the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders.
And he had 2 forced fumbles to go along with that. I don't know if you saw his second one, but he literally just shoved the offensive lineman into the quarterback and he fumbled. Yeah. So my guy AOC, it didn't look terrible. We'll get into that here shortly.
They actually had a chance. They were right there to tie the game. Go ahead.
Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, we're going to go with CJ Stroud. We're going to put him in Club Dub. So he has the second most passing yards through the first 4 career starts for a QB. Do you know who number 1 is?
I just saw your notes, but I won't say it.
Damn. This is Cam Newton. I was hoping we could play a little trivia.
But hey, he hasn't thrown an interception yet.
No, that's fair. And as a lot of people have talked about his leadership qualities, and he's definitely looking to be the kind of the horse of the class of this past quarterbacks.
And I got to admit, I didn't evaluate him that well in the draft because of that stupid test that they give, and he didn't do very well on it. So maybe that test
is it the litmus test? Is that what it is?
Something like that.
Something like that. You had Josh Allen. I'm going to throw in Stephon Diggs. He had 3 touchdowns in the win over Miami.
Big game.
And then the last part of Club Dub, I always love the little random baseball that I find. So Luis Arias is going to be in Club Dub. He plays for the Marlins. He was the NL batting champ this year.
Okay.
But he's only the third person in the history of Major League Baseball to win consecutive batting titles for different leagues. So previous year, when he played for Minnesota, he won it last year, the batting title in the AL, and this year he won it in the NL with the Marlins.
He's a good hit, but they did not advance.
No, but he's in Club Dub.
Yeah,
so
congratulations.
They overachieved for their season.
Okay.
So we'll put him in Club Dub for sure.
Okay, good stuff. So let's talk about your college games. So you've got some big headline games this week. Looks like this is my favorite game. What is it? Red River Rivalry, Oklahoma, Texas.
Cotton Bowl. How could you forget?
Cotton Bowl. Yeah. Well, it's played in the Cotton Bowl. It's the Red River Rivalry.
Oh yeah. The Texas State Fair, I think, is that what?
Yeah. It's right outside the Texas State Fair.
Yeah, it's a giant ordeal. I'd love to go. We should go. We should do
Get
live
some
on location.
fried stuff, fried Twinkies, fried armadillos,
fried grease, even. Just fry everything. But no, it should be a good game. I was going to add this to my picks. I might just sprinkle this on the side, little Texas money line. I've already put the Texas future out there. I put that out there a couple weeks ago.
What's the money line in this game? They got to be favored.
Oh yeah, they're minus 6.5, I believe.
Okay.
So I left alone with the spread, but I think you sprinkle a little money line on there and parlay it with something. So
okay.
We also have LSU going to Missouri, number 21 Missouri. I think LSU's probably going to crush them there.
That's my cousin's team, Tommy. Tommy from the he's a Missouri guy.
Oh,
Missouri.
really?
Oh, yeah, big Mizzou guy.
Does he Missouri turn when he drives?
Does he Missouri?
Are you familiar with the Missouri turn?
No, I'm not.
We'll have to talk about that after.
But it's a podcast.
Apparently, it's a slow turn followed by an extreme acceleration. So it's turning as slow as you possibly can and then just hammering the gas.
Hitting it. Okay.
Yeah. So that's called a Missouri turn.
I'll ask him.
We also have number 20 UK, Kentucky. They're going to Georgia.
Yep.
Georgia's looked a little shaky.
They did last week again. Yeah, it was a little tough game there.
So we'll see. The people betting Georgia really sweated out this year. Also, if you look at their
Auburn, they beat them, but
if you look at their metrics too, the last couple of years have been really good. The line of scrimmage. If you ask the Philadelphia Eagles, they're actually ranked 68th this year in offensive and defensive offensive line scrimmages. So. And in the last game, we have Notre Dame going to Louisville. I don't know if you saw that miracle cover with Notre Dame last week.
This is every week for them.
Well, they pray. That's what they do. They're Catholic.
Touchdown Jesus.
Yes, it worked. And we took him. So last week, if you're keeping track at home, we are 9-1.
I can't take credit. You're 9-1. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, we're 9-1 on the year. Last week we took Notre Dame and Michigan. Yep. Michigan absolutely knocked the doors off Nebraska.
They did.
So. This week, we're going to ride it out with Texas Tech. They're playing Baylor at Baylor. And then we're also going to ride Oregon State at Cal.
So Texas Tech is favored at Baylor. Interesting game. But you like the favorites, man. I'm seeing you really are a favorite guy.
So if you look at the Big 12 standings, the two teams with Texas Tech and Baylor, they're literally the same team. The biggest disparity is their ranking in special teams. So look out for a field position battle. Yeah, I think it's the big key this week.
And your Oregon State, former national champs now.
Yeah.
Maybe
if they ran the table,
champs.
if they ran the table, I feel like they could get in the Natty. If they win the Pac-12 at one loss,
USC, they can beat them.
Oregon's the team to beat in Pac-12, I think.
What about Washington?
Washington's really good, but I think Oregon's got a much better defense. We'll get there.
Okay. All right. Well, come on. You're taking over the podcast early again. So let's go with the baseball. So there were 4 different. So when do they change the format? This year, where it's a 3-game format?
Yeah. So
this year, hey, let's go 3 games instead of 1 game. Guess what? All the teams at 1 game 1, 1 game 2, over. No game 3s.
Yeah, and there were upsets too. There wasn't even all the favorites.
And they were really quick. Boom, boom, boom. That pitch clock really takes care of business. So let's just, obviously we'll go over the Diamondbacks 1, Phillies, Rangers, Twins. Do you see any of these teams advancing to the ALCS? Because obviously they're going to go to ALDS or NLDS now. Do you see them going to the championship series in their respective leagues?
If I had to pick one, I'd probably say the Twins, just because Houston has struggled at home so much this year. They're like 15 games, I think, above 500 on the road, and they're like 8 games under 500 when they play at home.
The Twins just won their first game in since my high school years.
Yeah, I think it was 18 straight games or playoff games or something like
92 or something.
They got the good vibes going.
I'd probably say the Phillies personally, because they obviously have this,
They got the mojo.
They got the mojo and all that team. Okay.
That's going to be that might be the most anticipated division series that we've ever seen between the Phillies and Braves. That's going to be really good. Yeah.
Exciting. All right. Well, let's jump into the NFL. That's mostly an NFL podcast here. Just want to remind the listeners.
Mostly.
Did we miss the podcast? Did we miss the NFL?
Check out next week for the WNBA.
So,
we'll do
anyway, let's go over week 4 quickly. Home and road splits. Broken record. It's right down the middle again, guys. It's like now the league is kind of stabilized a little bit. The spreads, the favorites actually led this week 10-6. That's why a lot of people got hurt.
Yeah.
Not me. And then the totals were 9-7 to the under. So they're close to being split here. You had 3 spreads that actually mattered. That's only 15.6% of the season. So let's go into the millionaire contest. We could talk about Survivor still. If people have Survivor questions, good for you. We're out. But we went 3-2. Now, we'll tell you, we really had a good week. Almost all the different games we picked were on the right side.
Yeah.
The 2 that we lost this week, I will tell you, first of all, was the Colts. When you watch that game, they really were on the wrong side. They were getting housed in that game 23-0 or something.
Yeah.
They came all the way back to tie the game, and then they forced overtime, but the Rams went down and scored, didn't even get the ball. I kind of feel if they got the ball, they would have won as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that kind of maybe worked out. In the last game, the last one was, I think you were on this one too. We'll talk about it in a minute. God, come on, Mahomes. Score the goddamn touchdown, dude.
Oh,
come on,
yeah.
man. Do you have money on the game? I know it's the smart play, but isn't the smart play going up by 10 points and winning the goddamn game? So anyway, those were our 2 misses. But now we're done with the quarter in the circuit contest. What that means is they actually paid out. The top guys they were 17-3, which is 17 points in the contest.
That's crazy.
They get paid, $100,000, which is good for them.
Right.
They pay out like the top 5 now, I think. And then the bottom one, a guy went 3-17 in the first 20. That's pretty tough to do.
Yeah, it is.
Right now, the top 100, which is the pay line for the whole year, is 14-5-1, so 14.5 points. Side actions at 11-9, not great, but 3.5 off the money, but 1,700th place. So let's go over some of these games. We did have the Jags -3. Love the Jags, the London Jags. I've talked about it a million times. They should have won by more in this game. The score was 23-7. If Atlanta had any passing, they could have kept in it, but the Jags were at home. They took care of business. I know they were at home, but in London they were. And they won easily. The defense played surprisingly well against the Atlanta offense. I don't know. You didn't take that game, did you?
No, but I definitely would have hammered the Jags. That was definitely the side. I mean, the whole time that Atlanta's offense is so bad when it comes to throwing the football.
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, it's an abysmal sight. It's tough to watch.
It's tough.
You thought watching Zach Wilson was tough. I almost think it's tougher watching Desmond Ritter. Honestly.
Yeah, I love Atlanta in general, but if you keep with Desmond Ritter, I don't think they're going to win. Definitely not this division, let alone make the playoffs. So we'll talk about that in the handicap later.
Another question for you, though.
Yes.
Is Desmond Ritter a poor man's Zach Wilson, or is Zach Wilson a poor man's Desmond Ritter?
Well, I mean, Desmond Ritter was a 2nd-round pick, right? So he's got to be a poor man to.
Okay.
Wilson was
Gotcha.
He wasn't the number 1 pick, was he?
No, Zach Wilson was the second
overall pick.
So
but,
yeah, we'll get there.
So Buffalo -2, 2.5. That was, it's seemingly an easy one. I mean, it was like they just came out of the gates 20-0 on Miami. I don't know what happened. They just kind of blitzkrieged them, and then Miami kind of started to come back, but then Buffalo just could not be stopped in this game. 48-20 final score. Obviously only 1 turnover helped, as I said, but your Finns, we knew it was, I thought, we talked about last week. I just felt like they were so high, they're going to take a dip below. I don't think the Finns are dead, of course. It was not a great showing for the D.
No, I mean, if you watch the first half of that game too, it was literally touchdown. They were going like back and forth, and then the second half you make some adjustments, and obviously, I think the Dolphins came out and scored the first possession of the second half.
Yeah, they made it kind of interesting.
And then right then it was kind of over. A couple really bad missed tackles. Yeah, so hopefully they figure it out. Jalen Phillips hasn't played in 2 weeks, and he's one of arguably the best pass rusher. I don't know. Some people say Bradley Chubb, but. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think it's a get right spot this week. So thank God we get.
Yeah, they get the Giants right. We mentioned obviously the Colts losing in overtime to the Rams. That was a pick in that one. I think it closed the Rams. I think it still was a pick, or maybe Rams -1. But again, we talked about that. They lost 29-23 in overtime. We were on different sides here. Dallas. We took -6.5 with Dallas. I know you love the Patriots. We discussed Mac Jones already. Obviously it happens, but Dallas at home has been a great football team. They've covered a lot of numbers. They're not playing San Francisco at home this week, but this is a team that you got to watch out in Jerry Dome. They played great there. And, sometimes that team just looks like upper echelon. And then of course they lose to Arizona. So 3 great games for them and 1 crappy game. They win going away 38-3. This one wasn't even close.
Yeah, there's not much to say unless you had the Patriots, and Other than that, you just gotta lick your wounds and pray that you don't do that again.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So we mentioned the Chiefs already. We had Chiefs -9, which again, they were up by 3 with the ball inside the 15. Just run the damn ball in there. So they ended up winning the game 23-20. So good for the Jets for covering the number. I did think, as you said, you're kind of teasing Zach Wilson. That was his best game. He played his best game against this team. Obviously, they didn't have Nick Bolton, the Chiefs, which we'll talk a little bit. He's a little banged up still. Maybe that's a big difference for them. I mean, you figure Chris Jones would be dominating. I just thought that they diversified the attack pretty good against the Chiefs, and that defense looked mortal. They looked great, and they didn't look so great this week.
Yeah, if anything, they might be overlooking the Jets, because we all know that was not a very good played football game by the Chiefs, and yet they still found a way, to come out on top. And I mean, they still ran the football really well.
Sure.
So I mean, even
159 yards or something.
I mean, if you could do that and have Mahomes actually play like Patrick Mahomes, this team will be fine in the end. And
that's true.
Is he the angriest runner in the league? It's just crazy, but
he's not quite elegant, but
no, but it's angry.
Yeah. So other games we discussed, I think Cincinnati. I don't know if you took them or I took them. The Bengals, they were 2.5-point favorites on the road at the Titans. I don't know. It's Vrabel, dude. I don't know. He just gets this team fired up. The Titans just destroyed the Bengals. Yeah. We can talk more about that later with Burrow in the next game, but he doesn't look right. He's not throwing the ball well. T. Higgins got hurt in this game too. So, I just think they got to lean on the running game until they get Burrow to a point where he's right. The Titans, what they do have is a good pass rush. And if you get after Burrow, he can't move anymore. So 27-3, that was a beatdown.
Yeah, that was tough. Then Derrick Henry looked like Derrick Henry of old. They ran for, I think, over 200 yards. And just when you give up that in the NFL, you're going to have a hard time winning football games. But after the game, Joe Burrow said this is the healthiest he's felt going into this week. So I think that was yesterday. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't know how. See. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's tough. Yeah. Our Super Bowl picks are looking greater and greater by the week.
It's okay. We can buy back in on somebody else.
Yeah, right.
Baltimore +3. We originally talked about it on the podcast at +3, but it actually moved to them -3 because Deshaun Watson was ruled out. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, the rookie, I never heard of this dude, gets his first start. And where is he from?
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know.
UCLA, man.
Oh,
yeah, he looked awesome in his gold helmet.
Yeah, I guess he did.
He was so fast in college.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
What happened in this game?
Well, the NFL is a little bit different speed-wise. So
I was a little disappointed. Obviously in these spots, you need the defense to play better. Lamar Jackson dominated this team. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. 28-3. This game wasn't close. So hopefully you got back on the right side. You were on Baltimore in the beginning, but maybe you got it early in the week anyway.
Oh, we had Mark Andrews in DraftKings too.
Oh.
Yeah, so that we hammered him. That was a nice little
payday.
Yeah, it was. It was shout out to Ginger again. So we discussed that before it happened. So
and then the last one, I shouldn't have reversed field. I love Seattle going into the game, and on the podcast I flipped it to the Giants only because I figured there's no way the Giants are going to go 0-4. Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah.
24-3. They looked horrible. I mean, I didn't even I watched this game for about a quarter and a half, and I said, oh, my God, they're terrible. I just had to flip it off. And, it didn't help that when they were trying to, in the second half, Daniel Jones leading a drive. Okay, let's get this thing back in. 97-yard interception for, pick 6. And Seattle won going away. So good for Seattle. And, stick to your guns. Stick to your gut instinct on these games.
They stink at home. There's metrics that prove that they stink at home.
So
he's like Daniel Jones is like what now 1-12 in prime time, I think. So
he's bad in prime time.
So he might be
the new Kirk Cousins.
I was going to say, is he a poor man's Kirk Cousins? But he's a mobile Kirk Cousins.
He's a mobile Kirk Cousins. Yeah. That's right.
We'll get there.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some injuries entering week 5. The Bills have some key ones. Tre'Davious White is out. I've heard he's out he got an Achilles injury. Usually that means a year, but I've heard, maybe he'll come back, whatever. We'll see.
Cam Akers came back in 4.5 months, I think. Or 5
That's
months,
true.
like
That's
that.
true. Jordan Poyer, their safety, also is injured, but he's trending to play. Von Miller, I'm not sure if he's going to play. I don't know if he's made the trip to London or not. The last thing I heard, because they're playing the Jags in London, who stayed in London, because I told you they're the London Jags. Von Miller is itching to play. He said on his podcast, or his Voncast, I think he calls it.
Nice.
His Voncast that he's, don't bet against me not playing. Guess what? You don't make the call, so we'll see if you get on the plane.
That's good marketing. No, I mean, honestly, if I were the Bills, I wouldn't rush him back. They're already deep at defensive line. Can you imagine if they have a healthy Von Miller? I mean, they just destroyed the Dolphins. They actually have the third best offensive line in PFF.
Yeah,
So.
and that was the thing. They pressured Tua so well and took away his first read. That was a key part of the game in the second half.
We need this team to lose, so then we can put Super Bowl futures on them. That's what if we get the Bills to lose this week, mark my words, if the Bills go to they lose to the London Jacksonville Jaguars, we should put a Super Bowl future on them.
Yeah, drop below. Yeah,
that'd be a good idea.
The Patriots, Matthew Judon tore his bicep. He's out for
Did you see it happen?
No, I didn't.
It was ugly.
I don't like to see those things. And then Christian Gonzalez, Judon might come back after surgery. Christian Gonzalez has an AC shoulder thing. He's out for the season, I heard. But the Chargers released J.C. Jackson, and they picked him right back up. So he wasn't having a good stint with the Chargers. So now he's back with the Patriots, back home. And then Mac Jones, I guess they said he was kind of dinged up, but he's playing this week. Just so you know.
Oh, are they going to keep him in?
They shouldn't.
We'll see.
I like Zappy. Then the Steelers, Kenny Pickett, he's going to play, I guess, even though should he play? We can talk about that later. But your guy, Pat Freiermuth, is likely not going to play. He's doubtful with his hamstring.
Yeah, I got to pick up a different tight end in fantasy.
Yeah, me too. You know what I hate about my league? They don't let me put him in the IR till he's ruled out. It's like, what? He's doubtful. He's not playing.
Oh, you can't put him in the IR anyway because he didn't have a designation, does he? He's probably still.
He's just doubtful with a D. He's got a D. Put him in. I think he has to be out of the IR.
Well, I hope he's got a D.
Oh boy, that's the one tool thing we're talking about.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Deebo Samuel for the 49ers. He kind of didn't play much in that last game with a need and need to. He's going to need to play in this one. He's questionable, but he is limited practice. How about Cooper Kupp? I heard he's clear to practice. I don't know if he's going to play though. I mean, Puka Nacua is the guy, so
he's the guy.
Well, I mean, he's dominating as a rook.
Yeah. Can we think of a fifth-round wide receiver or later that's been as good as he has?
I don't know if I can.
I can't think of.
What was Antonio Brown? He was fourth round?
I think so.
He was at a Central
I was going to say, Central Michigan. There you go. Yeah,
I knew. Hey, I don't know these random quarterbacks are thrown at me.
Oh.
All right. So Nick Bolton, we talked about for the Chiefs. Linebacker, his ankle, he's questionable. Yeah. Bengals, I don't think T. Higgins is playing. It says ribs questionable. I don't think he's playing. But Orlando Brown popped up as a groin injury on the offensive line. They don't need any other issues on the offensive line unless they got a better guy in the background.
I mean, I still agree that the offensive line coach of the Bengals is the man that needs to be fired. I mean, this is where they keep putting all the resources and allocation, and yet that's the one group that still struggles year in and year out.
You got one guy to protect in that team, Joe Burrow. I mean, as much as I love the receivers, you can put other receivers. It's a Patrick Mahomes situation. You invest in the quarterback. You need to protect him. Yeah. The Lions reinstated wide receiver Jameson Williams, so you got him in your squad.
I've had him on the bench. He's ready.
He's reduced his suspension. I'm not sure how many snaps he's going to get this week because he's not worked out with the team, but good pickup there. And then the Colts. So this is something we'll talk about a little bit when we get into the lines. Tennessee opened as a dog on the road at the Colts, which kind of makes sense. They're fairly even. I think around 1 or 2 point dog. Now it's flipped all the way where the Tennessee is like a 2.5 point favorite on the road because of all these injuries. Shaq Leonard, Quentin Nelson, the guard, Tyquan Lewis, DeForest Buckner even, and Kwity Paye all did not practice this today at least, or whenever it came out. So huge move to Tennessee. I'm not sure if it's warranted that far, but I loved Tennessee when they were the dog, and now I'm not sure about them being the favorite.
Yeah, they say Thursday is the most important practice day. So, I mean, that's usually pretty telling.
Indicative.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over today. The game's already been played. They're being played. It's by the time you listen to this, will be played. The Bears were a 6-point dog coming out, 44.5 point total. Guess what? It's halftime. And
it's 27-3.
26. Oh, you got the 27 already.
Yeah.
Huh? 27-3 for the Bears. Somebody took the money line. That's right. I also got a little 25% bonus. I might have mentioned that already. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
I mean, we put big money on it. I mean, huge money, of course. So, did you?
I'm gonna be looking for a new podcast host after tonight.
Life changing. Did you have a first touchdown prop on this one? Or
no, I didn't take it. I didn't really see any good value. I figured it was going to be either DJ Moore or like one of the Terry McLaurin, somebody of.
DJ's yardage prop was 54.5. His first catch was 58.
Yeah, and he had 130 something yards. I think when we first started this podcast, so God knows how much.
Let's see if the Bears can hold the lead. I mean, they did lose. They were 28-7 last week against Denver, so we'll see. Sam, I will say about Washington. I mean, we're not going to go in this game big time since it's being played. Washington is a much better second half team. I don't know what it is if the enemy's making adjustments on the offense and the defense is making adjustments, but the first half, this team has sucked. So always bet against Washington in the first half, regardless who they play. I've not seen them play good in the first half yet this year, and this is the 5th game. So let's go to the London game. The Jags technically aren't the home team in this game. We all know they're the home team. They're playing against Buffalo. Buffalo is now a 5.5-point favorite, 48.5-point total here. What you're calling this? What, the battle of the Josh Allens?
Yeah, you didn't.
I know there's a Josh.
That's my favorite
Josh
game
Allen.
of the year. This is my favorite. Was this? This was the 6-9 game.
Yes.
2 years ago, right, or last year, one or the other.
Killed everybody in Survivor that year.
Yeah, I bet. I can only imagine. So yeah, ever since then, it's been the battle of Josh Allen. So
Urban Meyer won this game. Urban Meyer won this game.
That's right.
I mean, that was his last win as a professional coach.
Yeah.
Hopefully forever. So you like the first half under for who? For the total?
Oh, for the total, yeah.
Okay.
A little jet lag, and
Sure.
defenses will probably be ahead a little bit. And plus Jacksonville, minus last week even last week they came out to a slow start. They got a defensive touchdown to get in the 20s. So
and they still didn't. The game didn't go over like I thought it would.
No, that defense they're pretty decent on the front line.
Okay.
So where I think at least the line of scrimmage it'll be the second half when the Bills really start to take over, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's tough. I wrote in the article, I think the Jags are going to, actually, I don't know if I say win this game. They're going to cover this number. Buffalo's going to win. But everybody's saying that the Jags can't get after the passer. I just feel like there's going to be a letdown. Look, man, I'm sorry. Usually in the college you look for letdown spots, but Buffalo blew out their rival in Miami going on the road, Jacksonville. I just think they're going to come out flat. So I like your first half. I also like Jags first half covering the spread, which will probably be like 3 or 2.5 or something like that.
Well, you got to be careful because Buffalo is the one team that will just knock people out and keep going. So I could still see this as a knockout spot. Like I could see Buffalo carrying this number. I think I'm going to take Buffalo and give you the points because I think the line is scared. I think this might be a James Cook game too. Might be able to see a little bit of him.
Finally, you've been pumping that guy up for weeks.
Yeah, imposed their will. He did score last week, by the way. He was the second. I had him on the first touchdown score, and he scored the second touchdown.
Second touchdown. Worthless. Did you do anytime touchdown?
No, I try to get those first ones, because anytime it's like only it's
only
plus 100, plus 200.
You don't want $100.
Dollar for dollar. So
all right, next game, Houston and Atlanta. This game's been interesting. It started off a little bit higher for Atlanta. Now it's kind of money's coming in on Houston. Now Atlanta's a 1.5-point favorite, 41-point total in this one. Give me your stat on this one.
Oh, Atlanta's only scored 13 total points in the last 2 games on offense. I don't know if you realize that or not.
Well, it's more than realize it, dude. I don't think this team – I had them. I really was high on them for a variety of reasons. But, I do metrics now. I know it's only week 4. It's a little bit early to look at this shit. But Houston's a better team on paper. Now, I know that this is only 4 weeks, and Houston's had 2 really good games in a row. So that pumps up this situation, and Atlanta has not. Everybody's talking about, CJ Stroud hasn't seen this and that and blah, blah, blah. Atlanta, show me you can throw the football. Because if you can't throw the football, DeMeco Ryans has figured out simple offenses so far in the last couple of weeks. He's going to take you out of your game, and you're going to have to throw the football. I just believe, I wrote this in the article on wegspool.com. If they switch to Heineke, I'd probably bet Atlanta. But I can't back Ritter right now. So it's one of my picks. I do like Houston in this game.
Yeah, I like Houston. I actually think Houston is like a mirror of Atlanta, except with a better quarterback. Because Houston can turn around and hand the ball to Dameon Pierce 25 times, just like Atlanta wants to turn around and hand the ball off, to Algier and company. But I'm with you. I like Houston here. DeMeco Ryan has actually shown that he looks like he's given control of the offense to an offensive coach, and the defenses look better. So he's solving his side of the ball. CJ Stroud's not killing them, which is basically all they need, and it's just not to beat yourself more than anything. So they look well coached. They look like they got some momentum more than anything. So
well, they do. Of course, then become trendy. So I'm not sure if I'm falling to the trend, but I'm on the CJ Stroud bandwagon, at least for rookie of the year. Him and Puka.
You're gonna sprinkle for them to win the South right now.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's not hateful.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I wonder where you get it at.
If we only had.
Yeah, live odds. We'll go ahead. I'll keep looking. I'll get the stats department on it. Go ahead.
All right. The next game is Carolina at Detroit. Detroit is a robust 10-point favorite at home, 44-point total. This is the largest spread that Detroit has had since. I heard it actually was like 2018, but that was when they played Green Bay without Rodgers or something like that. They don't have spreads like this since like the mid 90s. So That's my only hesitation here. Detroit's definitely the better squad, but 10 points in the NFL is just too much. It's a classic Jimmy Wags stay away spot.
Stay away spot. You can get the Houston Texans plus 475 to win the AFC
Ooh,
South
I like
right
that.
now.
A little sprinky.
So, just to let you know. Yeah, actually, I kind of like this game, but I like Carolina.
Okay.
You're going to give me 10 points.
There you go.
I think it's really hard to trust Detroit, even just because
they're Detroit.
Have they been 2 games? When's the last time Detroit was 2 games above 500? Were they last year? No, because they were like 3-7.
They were like
turned around,
they turned
right?
it around. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe one
leading
game
up to that, so it's to see them handle success. I feel like is going to be the real true test for Detroit. So I don't know if I'm ready to jump on Detroit yet. I could see them obviously covering and controlling the line of scrimmage. They have a really good offensive line. But Bryce Young did look a little bit better last week against the Vikings. So we'll see. I would take Carolina. I think Chuba Hubbard has looked really good. Miles Sanders might be able to, run on that defense and maybe, hopefully get some play action passing going.
But you were the one who wrote me, we've gotten you off the DMs. Now you're just tagging me in the in the X or Twitter.
The quote tweeting, I think.
So, I mean, Jared Goff's a covering machine, right?
Oh, he's the best quarterback against the spread of all time, right?
No, he is. Yeah. But it's usually because he's a dog. So we'll see. We used to call Teddy Bridgewater Teddy covers. Yeah, I mean, he would cover everything. But if he had a spread like this, he'd never cover it. So I like where you're at. I'm going to stay away, but I think that's probably the right side. It's just too many points. Next game we just talked about a little bit with the injury section. Tennessee going to Indianapolis. Tennessee, this is actually wrong now. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite on the road in this one. And that's mainly because of those injuries we quoted. I don't love it now. I think I still have it. I took it out of my picks. Originally, I had it in my picks when they were the dog, and it's a 43-point total. So, again, injuries are big in the NFL. It's not like the type. I just think that what I'll say about this game is this. Anthony Richardson is balling. Like, he was terrible in the first half. Second half, he was like a man. Like, he was just dominating the game. So, when he gets on a roll, it's great. I do think Vrabel's going to have a little something for him. And Tennessee's very good against the run. They're not good against the deep pass. So maybe he can get some air out, air some balls out. Again, I would like it a lot better when they were the dog in this one. If I took a side, I would take Tennessee, but I'm not going to put that as my top 5 picks.
Gotcha. No, I like Indy here. They're getting Jonathan Taylor back. I think the read option is going to be a real thing in this offense. And I think when you get JT in there, it's going to make a big difference. I think Tennessee's going to have exactly. He's going to be soloing his way to the end zone, if you will. But no, I think this might be the Jonathan Taylor week. If they get him out of the backfield, I think even throwing him the ball, I think the Tennessee linebackers are going to have a hard time covering him. He might have, 13. He's probably not going to have 13 catches like Alvin Kamara, but maybe 7, 8, somewhere in there. I like the Colts. They've got momentum right now. They're playing at home. Hopefully Irsay's got the dome open, maybe got the roof open. I don't know. They usually play a little better when they do. So check X that morning. Jim Irsay will let you know. So, but no, I like Tennessee here, even with the injuries.
You mean the Colts?
Or excuse me, Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Indianapolis here. I mean, they just got momentum. I think they really do.
All right, we're gonna put that as an opposite game. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The Giants at your Fins. Look, this open is a 9.5-point favorite for Miami at home. Hopefully you got on that because it shot through that key number. Now it's up at 11.5. 47.5-point total. And I've got this penciled in at roughly 14, as the spread. It's a huge spread, though. I can't lay it, even though the Fins are great and the Giants stink. The biggest thing with the Giants, they're going to win a game at some point. I'm not saying they're going to win this game, but they're going to play a little bit better at some point, probably here. It looks like you might – you're not against your team there. For some reason, I thought you were against your squad in this one.
No, I wouldn't. I would stay away from this game. It's a big number. I really like the over. Me and the Swerve. Shout out to the Swerve. We have a new rule. We're going to just take the over in every Miami game from this point moving forward. So we're going to live and die with the offense and Mike McDaniel. I could see them winning by a lot, but I just still see the Giants scoring. Saquon Barkley, I think, he's
coming back.
He should be coming back. We're going to see he's still listed as questionable. Mm-hmm. But obviously Miami still struggles against the run. So to get a little bit of balance in that Giants offense would probably be helpful because they haven't ran the ball since Saquon's been gone. So
the only thing I would say though, the Fins did get embarrassed last week a little bit.
They did,
right?
and usually, good team. We did have a rule, right? If a good team with a good quarterback gets embarrassed,
the Giants got Pimp slap too. It's like a battle of teams that got smacked around. So maybe you're right with the over. The total is the best spot in this game.
The non-familiarity might be a big thing too,
Sure.
because the Giants, I mean, obviously in the NFC, so
Mhm.
the Buffalo sees Miami twice a year. They get a little more familiar with that offense, and the
That's right.
Giants could have a lot of trouble with that emotion and everything. So
That's right.
we'll see.
Here's another weird game. New Orleans at New England. This game opened, I think New England was like a 2-point favorite on the opener, and then it moved fairly quickly to New Orleans, which kind of sucks because, to be honest with you, I love the New Orleans side in this one. Not that I like, even though Derek Carr played last week inexplicably. I thought he was supposed to be out, but he's not. But it didn't matter. But they, Tampa, they crushed them. But they, now they're a half-point, very small half-point favorite. The Saints are on the road, 39.5-point total. We finally broke the streak. The Saints gave up more than 20 points. Thank God we don't have to talk about that anymore. But I'd still probably take the New Orleans side, given the injuries for New England. I just liked it when I got a little point or two in this one. I can't back New England right now, even though Bill Belichick, blah, 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 he's not going to lose 3 games in a row, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? They could probably lose again.
I think I'd take Bill over Dennis Allen. So I think I would take the Patriots at home here.
You like that coaching edge, huh?
I do. I like the match there, but the Saints, I feel like on the road or not in a dome are probably a little bit different. I don't know how the weather's supposed to be in New England.
It's funny. They used to be a good handicap. I just think that the last few years, the defense is so much better that they play pretty good on the road these days. But
and New England is hurt with Judon and
that's what
Christian
I mean,
Gonzalez is. So we're gonna. That's definitely their 2 best players on defense too. So we're definitely gonna see. But Again, New England got embarrassed last week in Jerry's world. So
embarrassed back, but the Saints also got kind of destroyed.
That's true. And remember Tampa Bay? Remember that whole preview where we were somebody on this podcast?
I like Tampa.
Oh man, you thought the defense was old?
Oh yeah, that's the preview.
You were
that's a preview. But last week I was on Tampa.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about as a whole. You just didn't like Tampa at all, and I tried to tell you. They're frisky.
They're leading the South.
Yeah, they're frisky. That defense is no joke.
You love frisky.
So.
I finally got him to stop talking because he's like frisky. Let's go to the next one. So this is Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Baltimore, the 4-point favorite on the road, 38-point total, really low total. Talked about the injuries, with obviously Kenny Pickett and Freiermuth. Baltimore's getting healthier in this game. I understand why the number is moving their way. I can't do it, dude. I love Pittsburgh for 2 reasons. Mike Tomlin at home, dude. 4-point. He's going to rally the troops. They're going to do some crazy stuff like they did against Cleveland. This rivalry is almost always within 3 points. So it's actually one of my top 5 picks. I like Pittsburgh plus the 4.
Oh, man. This is my classic stay away game. I would stay away. I think if I had to pick a side, I'd take Baltimore. They're healthier. Lamar Jackson has beaten a lot of teams from the pocket this season. I mean, he's been obviously mobile like he obviously is going to be.
He's playing great.
So he is playing really well. He looks like an MVP again. And Zay Flowers looks really good.
Rookie.
So and the Steelers have struggled this year with good, wide receiving cores. They got torched by Houston last week, and they ran a lot of the same concepts that the 49ers did. Obviously, D'Amico Ryans is. Well, if you watch a little bit of the film, you can see some of the stuff they did week 1, the 49ers did, and Houston was doing last week. So there might be a tendency to beat that Steelers defense as long as you can block. So I think I'd take Baltimore here. I know they're not. I mean, they are getting their left tackle back. I think Stanley's going to play, so that's going to be a huge help.
Yeah, Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah.
So are you staying away or are you on Baltimore?
I would stay away ultimately, but like I said, we're here to pick, so I would take Baltimore. So
give us a pick.
You can also stash away. I think Mitchell. What was his name? I stashed him away on. Keaton Mitchell. If you want to pick him up. He averaged over 6 yards a carry in the preseason.
And he just goes through running backs like water in Baltimore.
He's a rookie, but he did injure his shoulder in the preseason, so we're going to see. But you can definitely stash him. Baltimore's one of the higher teams in offensive EPA this season. So
we've got some afternoon games too as well. You've got Cincinnati at Arizona. Cincinnati somehow is a 3-point favorite on the road. I mean,
it started like 7.
What the hell? Well, yeah, like the look ahead's like 8.5. This is probably preseason though. Arizona, this is at Arizona, 44.5-point total. I cannot back the Bengals. Last week we talked about I knew, the Vrabel factor was part of it, but now Arizona's kind of this team. They almost came in the back. I like the back door. They almost busted through the back door last week against San Francisco. They had a chance to score late to get in there, and they didn't get there. But I don't know, man. I just don't how you can possibly back the Bengals on the road in a favorite spot. I know that Joe Burrow may be more healthy, but I'm on Arizona plus the 3 here.
No, now you got to buy in low. Now,
Yeah.
you've never had a better spot to buy the Bengals
Sure.
until right now. So
Okay.
I would buy in right now if you're going to buy in. It's now or never for Cincinnati, honestly, because they go to
1-3.
Arizona and lose. They lose this game, it's over. They're not going to the playoffs. It's done. You might as well not even play Joe Burrow the rest of this season.
Well, let's slow down. Slow down, Turbo.
You might as well get a
come on.
new-
The Lions came back from whatever the hell they were, 1-6 last year, and almost made the playoffs.
And almost made
but
the playoffs.
they made it with Goff. I mean, you got Burrow here.
They played a much tougher division than the NFC North.
Okay, I'm not saying you're. Look, it's statistically against them if they go 1-4. There's no question. But
it's
again,
tough. Zach Taylor, hot seat.
Maybe.
Even if they win this
Maybe.
game, do you think? I mean, say they go 500 this year. Do you think he's on?
Talk about general manager hot seat with all this like revolving door lineman situation.
That's fair too.
I don't know. Yeah, he's probably. I don't know if he's that hot. I mean, he was in the Super Bowl like a year and a half ago, but that happens.
Right.
All right, next game, Philadelphia at the Rams. Philadelphia is a 4.5-point favorite, 50-point total. This one also came down a little bit. It was 5.5 on the opener, and the total keeps going down. Look, here's what I'm going to say. Last week, I know we opposed each other quite a bit last week. Finally came back. Washington, they didn't expose Philadelphia, but they could kind of go score for this team. I'm not saying the Rams can do that because I don't think they don't have the same kind of weapons, but the Rams have been salty all season. They've played pretty well. Now, granted, Stafford has a little bit of a hip issue. I think there's too many points for Philadelphia in this one. I do think they're probably going to win, but 4.5 is too many points, and I can't lay it again on the road. So I'm actually on the Rams plus 4.5. I guess in the contest, let's make sure I get this right. The Rams are, where is it? This way. We're live radio here, guy. 4 points.
Yeah.
4 points. So it's 4. It's 4 in the contest, but I still wouldn't lay the 4 with the Eagles.
I would lay the 4 here. I think one thing, it's going to be a Philadelphia home game. So
That's true.
Stafford's probably going to be in the silent count most of the game. And shout out to Sean McVay. I mean,
Yeah, he's coaching. He's going to be coaching the year if he keeps this up.
Honest, the way their offense looks, I mean, obviously the Achilles heel for Philly's defense is their pass. So in the strength for this Rams team so far is obviously Puka Nacua. If Cooper Kupp plays, you could definitely. I would like the Rams, but I would stay with the Eagles here. I think their front seven is going to be the difference.
Okay.
Obviously, I hate that number. Honestly, I hate 4.
I told you, 4's a tough number.
I would lay Philly. I could see them winning by a touchdown. I think there's going to be probably a sack at the end of the game. Where maybe the Rams get the ball. They're down 6. And obviously that's when that front seven is really going to make a difference. But
yeah,
does anybody have you noticed that the tush push has been quite common recently?
Well, first of all, I heard on the radio broadcast it's called the brotherly shove.
The brotherly shove. Okay, all right.
The announcer I don't like the tush push. I don't want to say tush on national radio. It's called the brotherly shove in Philadelphia. But what did you say? It might be considered illegal because it's too good.
Honestly, the Eagles are the only good team. They're the only team that runs it well.
They try to do it. Justin Fields, he barely made it tonight.
Yeah, I mean Justin Herbert barely made it, and he's twice his size. So
look, you can't make that play illegal for a couple of reasons. One, what's the matter with it? It's football. Secondly, why don't the friggin' linemen submarine those guys and make a pile? That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you played defensive line. I played defensive line 1 year when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Look, when in doubt, go low, make a pile, make it all mucked up for everybody.
Low man wins.
That's right.
Yeah, the low man trophy. Hell yeah.
Low man. All right, so 2 more games. We've got Kansas City at Minnesota. This is actually a 4-point spread now. Actually, in the market, it's 3.5. That's what I'm putting in the market. So this is the circle line. So Kansas City somehow opened up bigger, and they opened up as a 6-point favorite on the road. They're down to 3.5 in the market. I don't understand this. In the circuit contest, it's 4, and it's 52.5-point total, which has come down a little bit. Explain to me this line. I'm a little confused. Is there something people say? Oh, Minnesota, their offense has played great. Their defenses suck still. I know Flores he's blitzed at a record rate, like 62% or something. Yeah. I guess last week he didn't blitz as much, but he didn't need to against Carolina.
Right. You
blitz Mahomes, you're going to get lit up.
Yeah.
So I can understand why the total, it should be up. 52.5 is a pretty good total, but I don't know why it's coming down. Why is the spread coming down, dude? I'm all over now I'm getting value on the Chiefs. I will lay the wood with the Chiefs at -4 on the road at Minnesota.
Yeah, I think as bad as they played, they still won, like we just talked about earlier, with, at the Jets. So, and to your credit, Minnesota's defense is far less superior than New York's. So I'm with you. I'm with the Chiefs. I get the better quarterback. You're only giving up a field goal and change.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4:00 game. So we're out of the 1:00 window. So Kirk Cousins is obviously not going to be as powerful.
He needs a nap somewhere.
Yeah, as he normally is at that 1:00 window. So thank God. But no, honestly, he's in Central Time, so he's going to be a little closer, right?
That's
so it'll
true.
be anyway. I still think the Chiefs are definitely the side to take here. Jared McKinnon, maybe anytime touchdown score out of the backfield, a little sprinkle. So even if they do blitz, he's definitely going to be the one that gets the ball.
I know when I talk to Action about the picks, he's going to say, "Well, there's some secret." Some secret information out there that dropped 3 points from the opener.
That's.
I don't understand that. I mean, there's something fishy here.
Is it because Taylor Swift's going to be there?
Well,
is she the one bringing the lines down?
I did hear that Paul Allen, who announces the Minnesota games, I don't know if you ever heard him. He's got a good voice.
Yeah.
He said, if Taylor Swift wants to come in to, announce the game, she's welcome to join us in the booth.
Nice.
That's what Paul Allen said.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. Let's go to the next one. The last 4:00 window game, the Jets against the Broncos in Denver. So Denver comes home. Denver's a 2.5-point favorite at home, 43.5-point total. Come on, dude. I'm never going to lay the points with Denver. This team's not good. I don't know if I can back the Jets either. So this is the classic stay away. This is the Jimmy Wegs, Jimbo Fisher Wegs, whatever you want to say, stay away spot. I'll watch the game, at Four Shadows, wherever, but good God. I mean, it's the Jets are past. I can't do Denver. There's no way.
If there's ever going to be a get right spot for this Jets offense, it's probably right now. But the way the Bears have played tonight, it only makes me feel even better about taking Broncos, honestly. So I'm with Denver on this side. I think.
Okay.
I think they had the coaching mismatch, in my opinion. They definitely have the better offense. Cortland Sutton's been coming around. Jerry Jeudy, I think.
He's practicing.
So he looked pretty good last week against Chicago. And I just like Denver. They have to get right. They have to. Sean Payton has to start putting this in the right direction. They got a little momentum. I don't know if what you saw with Marshawn Lynch talking about Russell Wilson with Shannon Sharp.
No.
That he never gave out his phone number to his teammates. If he ever needed to get a hold of Russell Wilson, that he would call from a private number or from an unlisted number.
Are you serious?
You'll have to go back and watch Club Shay Shay. Yeah, it's with Shannon Sharp. So shout out to Club Shay.
What if he needed some Skittles? Let me text Russell. Oh wait, it's a private number.
So, but they're going home. Robert Salah said that this is the Breece Hall game that they're going to unleash. He's got no more
Breece Hall. He dominated last year. He ran he had like an 80-yard run, and then he tore his ACL in Denver. So it's
Breece Hall revenge game. This is the ultimate revenge game. So
you like Denver in this one?
I like Denver. I would take every prop of Breece Hall probably over, whether it's yards, touch. He might be the Christian McCaffrey. He might score 2 or 3 touchdowns this week. So,
but that's for the Jets. You still done with Denver?
Oh yeah.
You just so you're the over then?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is a big over game right here.
Okay, 43.5.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more games. This is probably the game of the season so far. Of course, we thought that the Buffalo-Miami game was. Now we got a new one. Dallas is going to San Francisco. San Francisco's a 3.5-point favorite. It's basically stayed stationary there all week. 45-point total. I don't know, man. I do think San Francisco's a better football team. I'm not going to pretend, early in the season, when I put it, these are the 2 teams I have coming out of the NFC, like for the championship. Dak, blah, blah, blah. Is Purdy better than Dak? I don't think so. He's playing better than Dak. But I can't do it, man. 3.5 points. I'm on Dallas, dude. You can't lay this many points in a team. I think the teams are pretty even. Now, granted, last year they beat them 19-12. It'll be that type of game, so I can see under. But more than a field goal, damn, I don't know. Is San Francisco that much better than them? I don't think so. My metrics say no.
Your metrics say no. Man, again, they did this on purpose because that number hasn't moved. I feel like if they put it at 3, everybody would be taking San Fran. If they put it at 4, everybody's taking Dallas. So they've definitely done this on purpose. So.
I'm not going to books know what they're doing.
I know. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to take San Fran just because they're at home. I don't trust Dak. I think the defense for San Fran is much healthier than the defense of the Cowboys. Obviously, to your point, they've played really well at Jerry's World, but I think they're like 500 on the road in the last 3 years. So
fair point.
Obviously, well, I always have a little good counterpart. That's what I'm here for. That's what I was told. But no, I think San Fran's the play here. This might be the Brandon Ayuk game. Obviously, Deebo Samuel is a little banged up.
He is.
George Kittle, maybe? Maybe.
Oh, first touchdown?
Maybe. Yeah, just a little sprinkle there, a
What
little
about
Sunday night
Ferguson?
action.
What about Ferguson for Dallas? You love the tight ends.
Yeah, who doesn't, right?
I like the rear entry.
I mean, yeah.
Or the back door.
I love a good blocking tight end too. Who doesn't love that? Yeah.
I like the back door. You like the tight end.
Yeah, but so we like a nice established first tight end, run the ball. Anyway, physicality is big key on our team. But
okay.
I think San Fran's the play here. I'm not going to overthink it. They're going to make a statement. I think this is not the.
I mean, the money tells you that. I mean, everybody's betting on it. Well, I should say everybody. It's like 79% of the money. So it says I'm going money line in this game too, buddy.
They've been waiting 5 weeks for this game. So
more like when they lost last year, more like 8-9 months.
That's fair.
Okay, so last game on Monday night. Only one game on Monday night. I don't mind the 2 games if they're good games. If they're crummy games, who cares?
I wish they'd move that second game to the 4:00 window so we quit having 3
early.
games. Yeah, we need to have like 5 games at 4:00. What's this like 2 or 3 games at 4:00?
I don't like
4:00 stuff.
So Green Bay at the Raiders. This game opened where Green Bay was the favorite on the road, which was probably not right. And lots of money came on the Raiders. So now it's down to a pick, 44.5 point total. I think that move was also, Jimmy G is going to play. Ooh, he moves the number from AOC. You're your AOC guy. He played fine.
He did.
So
right.
I don't know. When it was, I actually like this for the Pack. I think that they're these teams are pretty even. So it's not like I'm super heavy on the Pack. I think the Pack are a better football team, even with Jimmy G in there. So I would pick if I had to pick the game, I'd pick Green Bay, but otherwise I'll stay away. 44.5 point total seems light for these teams, so I'd probably go over that total.
I would take Green Bay just for the sheer fact I think they can run the ball well enough to take away Max Crosby. And he's really the only person on defense and obviously he rushes, his strength is rushing the passer. So if they neutralize him, they've got a pretty good run attack between A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. So I'm with you on this one. I would take the Packers as well. They're going to protect Jordan Love. Again, I don't think they're really going to have a hard time giving him time to throw.
Right.
Watson should play again. So, I like the over here, though. I feel like this is definitely a Monday night over.
Now, a lot of the primetime games have gone under, although, as we see, this one doesn't look like it's already. By the way, Washington scored and got a 2-point conversion. So it's
nice.
27-11. But that's 38. What's that?
Isn't that funny how he goes for 2 now? He didn't go for 2 last week against Philly, but now
you can win the game. Don't go for 2.
Oh, my God.
Anyway,
so sad.
A lot of the primetime games have gone under, and that's kind of been a trend this year. But I think this one's going to go over. All right, let's go. My top 5 picks, and I'm going to stick with these, by the way. Pittsburgh plus the 4, Houston plus the 1.5, Arizona plus the 3, the Rams plus the 4, a lot of dogs, and then Kansas City minus the 4 on the road at Minnesota. What do you like this week for the Beaver Nation pick'em?
That's gonna be a great color matchup, by the way, on Monday night. Especially if they wear green.
You haven't been talking about the colors for a while.
If they wear green with like the silver and black, I mean, nice. They're probably not gonna wear green. They're probably gonna wear white just because. Or the Raiders will white.
Helmets,
But man, that's tough. That'd be awesome if they got the green with like the black and gray. I think that'd be a good.
I like that.
Mashup. Yeah. Anyway.
Classic.
Yeah, a little NFC AFC. Anyway. For my 4 picks, obviously lines come out tomorrow in my league. We have Carolina plus 10. I'm laying the points with Denver minus 2.5. We're both on the Houston bandwagon this week, which means that we're doomed. And I'm going to go ahead and lay the points with San Fran as well. I think they're going to win by 5 or 6 probably. So
there you go.
I'll ride the Brock Purdy train.
So we only really have one that we differentiate in the picks, the official picks this time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're gravely apart, so that's too bad.
We must be using the same analytic team this week.
Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, we still have a lot of games that we didn't necessarily put on the picks that we disagreed with, but there you go. So this weekend, Final Swerve Cup. Are you playing? Looks like you're doing the 2-man scramble.
No, I don't know if they're having.
Oh, they're going to cancel it?
Have you seen the weather forecast?
Dude, I know, but they put it up. Everybody knew it was 52
Oh
degrees.
Yeah, but that was scheduled like 3 weeks ago. And then I don't think there's going to be a Final Swerve Cup this weekend. So,
sad.
Shout out to our Wednesday night bowling team, by the way.
Yeah.
Are we rolling balls yet? We swept again this week. So that's
sweet.
It's back-to-back weeks of 7-0.
So you guys are like minus 500, to win the championship.
I wouldn't get that too. It's 33-week season. It's a long
33 weeks?
Yeah, it's
what kind of league is this?
It's actually, is it 33? It's 3 weeks or 4 weeks of 8. So I guess it's 32. So I guess technically it is 33 because I think
That's crazy.
I don't know how they do
playoffs.
We'll have to look at it. Yeah, I'll bring a schedule next week.
I mean, nobody's counting. That's like more than half the year, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's real. But, hey, we're getting better. The team is bowling well.
Who's the squad now?
It's Swerve, Irv, Caesar, Jordan, and you haven't met Jordan, and then myself.
Is Jordan?
So-
That's not our Pan's Jordan.
No, Jordan is a friend of Irv's through like his DJ days, actually.
Ooh, DJ
yeah,
days. The Swerve days.
Yeah, the Swerve days. So
This sounds like an unstoppable squad.
yeah, Jordan's left-handed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's our setup man. So yeah, he's got a nice little hook. So
Nice.
he's
Well, I'm
pretty
going to be
good.
going to a nice farmer's market
Nice.
and doing a walk. I'm in my walking season now.
Okay.
So that's my Saturday. And then our Pan's birthday concert at night.
Oh yeah, it's at like 10 o'clock. I'm
I
gonna take a
know.
nap.
It's
man.
late. Yes. Disco nap. I'm actually going to be out.
Disco nap.
Maybe not on a date, having some dinner.
So when
And
do we
then
take the Molly if you take a nap though? Like, do you take a nap and then take the Molly, or do you take the Molly and then take a nap?
I'm not
and
a
then-
Molly expert. If we're talking about illegal drugs, I don't really know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But I have a cousin
Well,
named Molly.
hypothetically,
My cousin's getting married next week.
Hypothetically,
Her name's
which-
Molly. But I think it's after the nap.
Okay,
I think
gotcha.
you might not wake up if you.
I've
You'll
never
wake up
tried.
at some point.
Okay,
I've never tried either.
I'll have to ask.
not a Molly guy.
I guess I'll have to ask the seasoned veterans.
The
if you
yes,
will.
the seasoned veterans
Yeah.
that may or may not be on the bowling team.
Shout out to the team name, right? Yeah. So it took me a minute. Somebody had to explain to me why the team name was what it was. But after it was explained to me, I was like, oh, okay, this is
There you
making
go.
sense. So
So what about the 2-man scramble?
Uh,
What's that?
yeah, Tuesday, it's Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
By the way, for those of you not in Chicago, the high for Saturday is gonna be like what 55, 56.
Just
So we have
it'll
a-
be like at 1:00 in the
yeah, so we have a shotgun start at 11 a.m. So
Ooh.
yeah, hand warmers will be worn.
Just
you
a
know.
9 hole.
No, it's 18.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
18. Also, forgot to mention, I'm doing a Wednesday night simulator league. So that'll
Oh
be
yeah,
fun.
that's what Action did
Yeah,
last year. Good
yeah,
for you.
down there at Wrigley, or I guess Golf X in
Oh, yeah.
Wrigleyville. So that's
Uh-huh,
kind of
uh-huh.
cool. Seeing the baseball stadium. This never gets old. So yeah, right. So
Cranked up.
yeah, hopefully we do well. It's like the superintendent revenge. So they put
Ooh.
like the pins and like on hills and crazy places, and
Sure.
there might be like obstacles in your way, like rakes and whatnot. So that should
Okay.
be a pretty good time.
Well, and then Sunday, I'm sure you'll be back at your barrelman. I will probably be at Four Shadows again. Are you gonna come this time?
Yeah, I'll probably have to join you.
Woo!
I have to give the craft beer a break. It gets some bad headaches. They have.
I mean, they
it's
give
so
you a lot
good,
of
though.
shots at Four Shadows, pal.
Oh,
Just
man.
so you know, we don't have to drink them.
That's
But I
fair.
mean-
yeah, I'll let you. You know, you're the one that tears up the dance floor. You know,
Well, I won't be
We'll let-
dancing. I'll be just.
Well, after you hit all these bets that we made, what do you
Oh,
mean?
I mean, exactly. This gigantic money line parlay I just put in.
Yeah, if anything, you're buying the rounds. That's what I'm hearing at this point.
Exactly. Sure. I will. All right. Well, hey, follow us at Side Action Pod on Twitter and Side Action Podcast on Instagram. Follow me at Wegspool on Twitter and on Instagram, also known as X.
X, yeah, and you can check me out on Instagram at Dalton Cooper, on Twitter or X at Mr. Grumpy Gills, at Dalton Cooper. We are the Side Action Podcast. Until next week, love you guys. Check us out.
All right, everybody. All
Did they
right.
score again?